I love the gavel. Quiets everybody down. So welcome, everyone. We'll reconvene the meeting, have Pledge of Allegiance and closed session report out. First of all, we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance by Okmar Katre.
Please stand.
Okmar? Yeah.
Put your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Okmar. Go ahead. Yeah, moment of silence, please.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So as many of you may know, every month is a different kind of awareness month. So January is the awareness month of cervical cancer, and more than 14,000 women in the USA are diagnosed annually. So although medicines and vaccines can prevent this disease, there are other diseases that women have to face in this country, and I think we should think about those. So the pay gap, restricting gender roles, and period poverty are but some of the many issues that plague society today. So for this moment of silence, I would like to devote the time to the women that have fought for the rights and have shaped society, and in camaraderie with the women that continue to fight to rectify the problems that they face. So that's what I want to dedicate this moment of silence to. So if we may.
Yeah. Thank you, Okmar. Next, we'll have the closed session report out by the clerk.
Okay, thank you, Mr. President. Item 4.1, no reportable action taken regarding public employee performance evaluation superintendent. 4.2, no reportable action taken regarding existing litigation. 4.3, the Board of Trustees unanimously approved the settlement agreement in OAH case number 2022100041, resolving all issues in students' due process complaint by providing compensatory education and other reimbursements. Item 4.4, the Board of Trustees unanimously approved the settlement agreement in OAH case number 202221000737, resolving all issues in students' due process complaint by assessing and providing compensatory education and other reimbursements. Item 4.5, no reportable action taken regarding negotiations. 4.6, no reportable action taken regarding personnel. 4.7, the Board of Trustees unanimously voted to dismiss employee HR-2022-23-08. 4.8 was pulled. 4.9, the Board of Trustees unanimously voted to dismiss employee HR-2022-23-10. 4.10, the Board of Trustees took formal action with a 5-0 vote to approve the expulsion of students 22-14, 22-18, 22-19, and 22-21. 4.11, the Board of Trustees took formal action with a 5-0 vote to accept settlement on claim AUHSD 13-07.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Next, we'll have recognitions. Start with Hope School Shoe Drive. Kind of an unusual thing to be thanking people for, but it's a wonderful thing that you have all done. The Board of Trustees will recognize the La Palma City Councilman Nitesh Patel, as well as Each One Teach One. It's a foundation for providing an amazing back-to-school event for all Hope School students as a welcome to the 22-23 school year. Each and every Hope School student received a new pair of Vans shoes, along with a backpack full of school supplies. Additionally, lunch was provided for the Hope School students and staff. And I can't imagine this happening in other schools. I have never heard of it before, so I think it's a wonderful opportunity that all you students are taking part of and helping to provide underprivileged students or anybody, shoes, backpack, like you have done. So thank you so much. And I know you have done things in the past, not only within our school district, but it has been provided for other areas within the Southern California area in the way of supplying the underprivileged. So we thank Each One Teach One for that also. So with that said, we're going to make a presentation here, take some pictures, and thank you again so much. And is this the whole group, or are we missing some people?
This is their board.
This is their board. Okay, thank you. All right. Why don't we come down and have a picture? Come on in here.
You guys did a good job on that, too. That was a lot of work.
Right there in the middle?
These two are the presidents, right there.
Why don't you hold that? Why don't you go over here? I'm going to get in the back.
I'll just get in the back with you.
Okay, great.
Oh, yeah, we got it.
Here all night?
Yeah.
All right, thank you. And now Nitesh Patel, who is a council member from La Palma, also part of Each One Teach One, and he wants to say a few words.
Thank you. I'd like to thank the Board of Trustees, the staff, superintendent for recognizing these children. You know, when I get certificates or recognition, it's not me. First, I'd like to take you on this little journey on how this happened, because we've been giving Kicks for Kids was the event, Shoes Out for past 3 years, which my daughter Tulsi and Krishna and then Aiden, I can just say he's like my son, but they all came up with this concept and was to give kids shoes. Growing up, I come from an immigrant family, and a pair of Nikes went so far for me. And we only got them once a year, and that was during Christmas because parents couldn't afford it. So I was telling my children these things, and they're like, well, there are a lot of kids that don't have that. So we started the program at Boys and Girls Club, Salvation Army, and then we did an event at Hope School where Each One Teach One donated, I think, over 500 roses. And we were talking about doing a backpack drive and shoes there. And that's when I met this fabulous man, special education teacher Joseph King. Through this summer, he worked with all children at Hope School to get their shoe sizes. We had a form that we gave him, and he made sure that he got every student on there. And then we got changes and changes, but that just shows you that the value of our teachers. During the summer, he's working to make sure that every student was accounted for at Hope School, and making sure that they had shoe sizes and that we would get them a backpack and supplies. So when we say thank you, it starts off with educators like him. So let's give Joseph King. And she's not going to like it, but the second person that's always been supportive in making sure these types of events happen is Principal Houston at Oxford Academy. She has gone above and beyond to make sure that these kids have the resources and the ability to be able to participate in these types of events. And, you know, when they came with the idea of EOTO at Oxford, she got right onto it to make sure that these kids could succeed. And she doesn't just do it for these kids, but for all kids. And so let's give her a big round of applause. And last but not least, these kids are special. You know, they came out, it was a 2-weekend ordeal. They packed the shoes, they put the backpacks together, they put names on every shoe so that we can have a seamless transition and passing out process. They gave up 2 of their weekends to make this happen, and you know, they always smile. They're happy. And seeing them interact with special needs children, you could see their compassion, their love, their kindness, and you get to see a different side from their academic side to seeing them being human finally. And this event is going to continue. I know my daughter Krishna is going to be a part of the AUHSD family soon, and she'll be continuing on with the school that she goes to. But again, these children, most of them are going to be going to college soon, so I know they'll carry this on forever. And it's been an honor to work with all you children because you always teach me something every day. So thank you to you too.
All right.
Again, thank you very much.
Thank you. What a wonderful opportunity to show what students do out there in the world, because you are our future, and so carry that forward. Next, we have 7.1, Student Representatives Report, and we turn it back over to Amkar.
Hello, I'm back. So we'll start off with Anaheim then. So Anaheim High School recently had an RSVP taste testing. So because of their RSVP summit, they had the opportunity to take 6 students from each grade level to taste new foods for their cafeteria. This included the new shake ramen and vegan hamburger and all of these new additions. At Cambridge Virtual Academy, the newly elected Anaheim Mayor, Ashley Aitken, and the City Council member, Carlos Leon, visited CVA's Market Day, and they got to engage with the community as they were engaging in their Market Day. So Cyprus recently had their Cyprus basketball compete in a Las Vegas tournament, and they are more than ready to start competing in the current season. So, big for them. Gilbert held a wrapping party where people could wrap gifts together, and they were offered supplies to decorate all their presents. It was just a fun little get-together for Gilbert students. Catella held a senior picnic where seniors got together outside, and they were given Chick-fil-A, and they got to watch a movie, Elf, outside for the holiday season. So great way to kick off second semester for the seniors. Kennedy had an IB winter gathering. So IB juniors and seniors held a party where they ate cookies, drank cocoa, and of course watched a movie. Loera held an end of the year winter assembly, which included new gifts for students and a whole lot of cheering for student organizations and their teams. At Magnolia, they held a Winter Wishes fundraiser where a whole bunch of toys and other gifts were congregated and given so they could distribute them to students in need. At Oxford, they competed recently in a JPL challenge. So this included actually corporate companies as well, and they qualified to compete at JPL. So those students will now be competing at like the major leagues. So very exciting for AUHSD. Savannah had Link Crew and PTSA organize a movie night for students. So they watched Alvin and the Chipmunks, a personal favorite, and they enjoyed the night. At Western, they had, I was told to talk about their winter sports because it's starting off with a bang there. So wrestling, soccer, basketball, they're all doing great in their league games, and the Pioneers are looking forward to the upcoming school semester for those sports. And also, one more thing off of the board report. I spoke about this with Mr. Matsuda yesterday as well, and I recently had the opportunity to take part in the implicit bias training with the OC Human Relations partnership we have, and it was a really profound moment because I got to engage with students and teachers alike, and I saw them like move to tears as they recognized their own biases and how it influenced their life around them. And they were talking about how they wish they could reach more educators, they could reach more teachers. So I really hope this partnership continues in the upcoming year with Human Relations, and if it were to also be promoted to more educators, because the conversations were very deep and they got very personal, and in like a good sense, where people were finding more like self-actualization, realization through those conversations. So it was a great opportunity.
Fantastic. Wow.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
What a great report, especially the last part. Yes, very nice. Yeah. Student speakers, do we have any student speakers in the audience? Okay, seeing none. Reports from associations. Mr. Grant Schuster.
Good evening, Board of Trustees, Cabinet, and everyone joining us tonight for the meeting. I want to first congratulate Trustee Guerrero and welcome her on behalf of the teachers, welcome her in person, as I was unable to attend last month, so I want to congratulate you and look forward to working with you throughout this term. Tonight, I'm thrilled to be focused completely on serving our teachers and students in the classroom as successful school board campaigns and contract negotiations are behind us. It is always a rewarding time in the year to be able to focus specifically and completely on students and staff and what their needs are and moving forward with the school year. We are well into the development of our community schools model, and we have learned quickly that the development of any systems of delivery of any services is dependent upon the first community school pillar, shared leadership. Part of the reason we have developed such a strong steering committee and are building what will be strong site committees has been the belief in shared leadership that we have embraced. We know that this is not new to our district and is exemplified in many of the different programs that we have built over the years. We have shared leadership on the insurance committee that has continued to provide our district employees and their families some of the best health and welfare packages in the state. During the pandemic, the shared leadership of the teacher input group and AUHSD administration helped us navigate the impossible situation to provide students and their families anything and everything that they needed during that time. This shared leadership has continued through the return to campus and helped address student and family needs as we recover and build a better public education system in Anaheim on the other side of that. Our teacher support network is currently working through a shared leadership process to create a more meaningful process for evaluation and teacher support throughout our careers as we continue to develop professionally and hone our teaching skills. We have learned through all of these examples that progress travels at the speed of trust. It always will. We must recognize and always remember that institutions, whether they're school districts, teachers unions, nonprofit organizations, or parent organizations, their default, institutional default, is to govern from the top down and make directives. We must vigilantly fight to make sure that we continue with a shared leadership model that will battle against this default and provide us with programs that are best for our families and community. Whether we're looking at insurance coverage, developing new academic pathways, supporting teachers through their professional development, or even implementing a new special education service delivery model, the level of shared leadership and in the decision-making process will determine the level of trust that is built in and how much progress we will make in achieving our ultimate goals, which are thriving students, thriving schools, and thriving communities. Thank you.
Thank you, Grant. Heather Hutner, do you have anything to bring forward to us? Yes, she does.
Good evening, board members and community. My name is Heather Hutner. I'm the new CSEA Chapter 74 president. So I just wanted to come and introduce myself to you all. I'm proud to represent such a diverse and amazing group of people and positions in our district. We're really looking forward to some quick and collaborative negotiations this year, and I'm really excited to see what this year is going to bring for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you and welcome.
Welcome aboard.
Anybody else in the audience? Oh, okay, Amanda.
Good evening, President O'Neill, Board of Trustees, Superintendent Matsuda, Cabinet, students, parents, and community joining us in person and online. We in Alta really hope that everyone had a wonderful winter break and was able to get some rest and fun times with their families. And we're really looking forward to finishing strong this second semester. At our school sites, we're really busy over the break, hosting a variety of athletic activities, and currently in the process of celebrating our winter athletics. The big thing on campus these days is preparing for the upcoming course selection season and master schedule process for the 23-24 school year. During this time, our schools are collaborating with each other to introduce the 8th graders to their new high schools and to introduce the 6th graders to their incoming 7th or their junior highs. So they're hosting a variety of events, going and meeting with students individually, helping them pick their classes, really making sure that students are being offered a broad course of study and are receiving courses that they want, that they need, and are able to support them for their academic success. We know as administrators that students thrive when we are working with all stakeholders and making sure that everyone is involved in the process. We're also happy to report that we're continuing our parent learning walks, and parents now have the opportunity to connect via eCadence and even earn a badge for their Earned Learning Walk. And last but not least, our district students and community will be participating in a variety of upcoming events like the TEP Parade, celebrating Lunar New Year, the Black College Expo in LA to learn more about college and career. And this Saturday, we are celebrating Martin Luther King through our Serve-a-thon, an AUHSD's way of spreading kindness and compassion and putting those 5 C's into practice. Every school site has a Serve-a-thon event with over 4,000 students committed to serve the greater AUHSD community. We know it's going to be a great start to the year, and we're really excited to get going. Thank you.
Thank you. Look forward to that Serve-a-thon.
I had a quick
Yeah,
question.
sure.
Yes. So sorry. Can you explain how that eCadence will work for our parents?
I don't have the specific details on
Okay.
that. So maybe Jaren can. I'm
I can
sorry.
do it at a more generic level, but essentially, just like they would log into Aries, the same credentials allow them to log into eCadence. They can access their students' portal, but they also have their own portal. So when a parent engages in a parent learning walk, they are actually, their reflection that they used to at the end, they now can do
Yes.
in eCadence.
They can do it
So
in
it's now
eCadence,
housed in eCadence. And the beautiful thing is if you're a parent and you have students at, let's say, Catella and South, you have the ability to have that same, you don't have to log in separately, it's all linked with you. And then through that, they can earn badges that are connected to them that they can use for potential job interviews or things that demonstrate their skills and the things that they've learned while they've been with us. So think about parents, the Ready, Set, Go curriculum, our parent leadership academies, all those things potentially could be badged to really upskill our parents with those skills.
And because of Amanda's work, we're able to secure Google certificates for parents as well. First time in the country. So Amanda, congratulations.
And on a side note, thank you, Mr. Matsuda. We are launching that with our parents tomorrow at the Parent Summit. So we will be hosting 2 sessions on Google certificates to explain what they are, how they benefit, and get survey data on how parents would like to be involved.
Okay, fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Jared.
Anybody from the teachers, Parent Teachers Association, PTA? Not seeing none. Public comments. This is time for open session items. We have anybody wishing to speak on public comments? Seeing none, no reports. Okay, item 9.1, school-sponsored student organizations.
So moved.
We have a motion and a second.
Second.
Any discussion? Umkar? Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That's 6-0. Business Services, 9.2, financial audit for fiscal year 21-22. This is information only. And we have a long presentation, about 30, 40 minutes? No?
Whatever you like, Board President O'Neill. So we have our partner from eBailey that will be giving a short summary of the audit
Oh,
for
thank you.
prior year. Thank you.
Definitely not 40 minutes. So before I get started, I usually like to define what an audit is. it's a process designed to provide reasonable assurance whether the financial statements are free of material misstatements. We always say reasonable assurance because there's no audit designed to provide 100% assurance. That would require us to be here day and night looking at every single penny transactions. So basically, the goal of the audit is to provide an auditor's opinion, and the highest level of opinion that an entity could earn, it's called an unmodified opinion. And the way we get there, it's through a risk assessment approach, reviewing the district's internal control, and ultimately testing a sample of transactions. That being said, the first page I want to draw your attention to, it's page 103, or PDF page 110 if you're looking at a digital copy. This is one page in the auditor's report. It's called the Summary of Auditor's Results, which tidies up all three opinions we provide over the financial statement, federal awards, and state awards. On the financial statement, the district did earn an unmodified opinion. As I mentioned, that's the highest level of assurance we provide, with no material misstatements or significant deficiencies noted. And then the next opinion on there, it's the federal awards opinion. The district again earned an unmodified opinion. We tested one of the major federal programs. We noted no significant deficiencies or material misstatements. And then on the state awards opinions, the district did earn an unmodified opinion as well. The next page I want to draw your attention to, it's called the Schedule of Financial Trends page. It's page 88 or PDF page 93. This is the Schedule of Financial Trends page for the general fund. General fund's the largest operating fund of the school district. What this page will tell us is the current state of the general fund prior to your history, and also the projected budget for the following year. So this page tells us that the district had an operating surplus in the past 3 years and is projecting a surplus in the future year as well. Overall, ADA has declined slightly, and that has been a trend across pretty much the state. Overall enrollment has declined, and long-term liabilities have declined over the past 3 years as well. That being said, I'm open to answer any questions you might have for the district report.
All sounds good. Any questions? Okay. Sounds like you did a fantastic job, as well as our department,
Oh,
our
it's all the
financial
district.
department.
We just come and check the.
Oh, I know that. So kudos to everyone.
Yep.
Thank you. Nancy, do you have any other comments?
No, just really do want to thank staff, Karen Ork and Joe Komono as well, to lead the team. It's a lot of work. The
Yes.
auditors are here for an entire week, but even prior to getting here, there's a lot of information we have to upload, and it just, and then the staff as well. It takes many, many months to even get to here. So do want to thank the staff, and also
Absolutely.
thank Bobby's team as well. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you,
Thank
one and
you.
all.
You,
Yes.
all of you.
Good. All right, 9.3, Bond Audit Report for fiscal year 21 and 22. Information? Anything on that?
So yes, so Bobby will also be giving
Okay.
a report on that, yes.
All right.
All right, so this is specifically related to the Measure H Building Fund. This report, it's two-part. There's a financial statement report and also a performance report. On the financial statement side, the district did earn an unmodified opinion. As I mentioned, that's the highest level of assurance, with no material misstatements or significant deficiencies. On the performance side, what that report entails is us testing transactions and comparing them to what's allowed under California State Constitution, Article 13A, and also what your voters approved the Measure H to be used on. So we'll take that project list that was approved on the ballot measure and compare it against a sample of transactions we pulled for testing. We pulled roughly 98% of the total expenditures from the fiscal year and noted that all of those aligned with what your voters approved and also the California State Constitution. That being said, I'm happy to answer any questions you might have on Measure H.
Any questions? All sounds good.
Yeah, sounds good
Done
to
a
me.
good job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Excellent job.
I'm just curious, are you from Rancho Cucamonga?
Our office is in Rancho, but I'm from Orange County.
Oh, okay. I was thinking you have a drive tonight. so. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Next item is 9.4, resolutions 2022/23-E-10, White Out Tobacco Week 2023.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? This is a roll call vote. Ms. Guerrero?
Aye.
Ms. Piercy?
Aye.
Ms.
Aye.
I just went blank.
Smith?
Smith. Looking right at her, I was going, Ms. Reynolds
Mr.
Trejo.
O'Brien.
I vote
know
aye.
it. Okay, and I vote aye. That's 5-0. Ouch. 9.5, resolution number 2022-23-HR-02, National School Counseling Week.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Okay, very good. And this is a roll call vote. Ms. Guerrero?
Aye.
Ms. Piercy?
Aye.
Ms. Smith? Ms. Reynolds Trejo?
Aye.
And I vote aye. It's 5-0.
We love our counselors, and we want to honor them.
Yes,
For
yes,
sure.
yes. Consulting Services Agreement, 9.6.
So moved.
Second?
I have a motion and a second, and is there any discussion on this? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye,
Aye.
opposed? That's 5-0. 9.7, Agreement Vaniken Klassen, I think I said that correct, Associates.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
I did have a question. Can you provide a brief background on the acoustics in the Anaheim High School gym?
Yes, of course. So with this contract, the Anaheim High School gym is a little bit different than some of the other gyms because it's like a concrete. And so with some of the ceiling tile that we are trying to replace right now, we do need to have an acoustic engineer to go in and take a look to see what needs to be done to that gym to this point to improve the quality of the sound there. So this contract will allow us to hopefully, after tonight, tomorrow we'll send over the contract to start the process of getting the report from this consultant for that to identify what work needs to be done. And then at that point, we're hoping to get the report back at the end of February. And then at that point, then we will be working with the maintenance department to see if the project would need to be bid out or when can we do it in-house as well. And so depending on what needs to be done, then we would need to either bid, and that would take, usually a couple months, or if something that, that we can do in-house, then we would self-perform that work. And the interim director, Albert Guerrero, is here if there's any additional questions that you may have.
Okay. So there wouldn't be an anticipated completion date until after the report?
Yeah, so we would need to see what the report come back at the end of February, and then we will assess at that point what we need to either bid out or perform the work. And then obviously we're happy to report back once we get the report
Okay,
at the end of
thank you.
February. You're welcome. Thank you.
Question, are any other gyms in our district have the same type of construction as this one?
Not that I'm aware of. Albert, would you know? Yeah. Please, come on, thank you.
Because, most gyms, you go in there and it's very noisy. When they try to make a presentation, it's, so I was just wondering if there was any similarity.
Good evening. No, gym, to my knowledge, is the only, Anaheim gym is the only one that is bare concrete, all walls, and a concrete roof deck.
Okay.
The other gyms, including junior highs, they have some sort of tiles, paneling throughout. So Anaheim is the only one that does not
Okay.
have it.
All right, thank you.
That's what
Appreciate
we
it.
do. Mhm.
Yep.
Thank you.
So, seeing none, any more questions? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0. Educational Services, revised board policy, multiple policies. This is the second reading.
So moved.
Second.
Action item. Okay, any discussion?
No.
Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0. 9.9, Group Booking Conference Agreement, Hilton Garden Inn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? 5-0. 9.10, Agreement National Federation of High School Sports.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Questions?
Only one. Now, I've already asked this question about, it's the parents that pay. Is this like streaming things where you have to subscribe to it, and then, in other words, it's like another streaming type,
Yeah,
app?
so essentially, anyone across the country, the world, right, if they have access to the link, they can watch their nephew, niece,
Right.
grandson, watch them compete in
Okay.
a sport, and they pay a fee, just like they would pay admission to come into the gym for a basketball game or a football game. They're paying the subscription to watch the game live stream, and then the district, as a result, gets, I think, 20% of the commission, right, for that.
So we get
which goes back.
20% of the sales.
Yes, and keep in mind, the schools and district, we're responsible for paying game officials, and they're not cheap.
No.
So the gate that we get from just in-person contests and now the live streaming will help offset those costs. Unfortunately, we still don't get enough money in from gate to even cover those costs because game official Just like we've gotten raises, they've gotten raises
They've
too.
gotten
So
raises,
it's gotten expensive. So this helps offset those costs.
Is there any anticipation of what type of revenue we're going to?
You know, I can only speak for like my own experience because my sons and daughter have competed, and after the pandemic, they can continue with the live stream. And I know, like for grandparents and folks who can't attend a game, like tonight it's raining, if there was a game they don't want to go out, they can watch it online. We don't know. The good thing, there's no cost to the district. We only make if
Right.
people do subscribe.
We're just allowing them to put their cameras up
Correct.
and, yeah.
Correct.
And then are those cameras available for other events if the gym hosts?
Yeah,
other
so
events?
I looked into that. Right now they're in the gyms. They'll be on a field. So like most likely boys, girls, soccer, those fields, and they're also in the pool area. So for water polo and swimming. But we do have an opportunity if we should so desire as a district to work with this company to potentially place them in an amphitheater to see a choir performance. So that we'd have to work out the kinks with the sound because right now with the sports you really don't get the sound. You're just watching the game, and the cameras I think have the AI where they follow the ball. But for choir or band performances, I'm sure we could do it. We just have to figure out how the sound would work.
Well, they're going to have cameras in the gymnasiums, aren't they, for like basketball?
Yes,
and
yeah, so
volleyball?
gyms
Okay.
for
Gym-
basketball,
gyms, yeah.
wrestling, and volleyball.
And vol-
Fields likely for soccer and, for soccer.
Soccer.
And then the pool area for swimming and water polo.
I have a question. So you call it a subscription, but you also call it like analogous to like paying. Is it pay-per-view or is it like a one-time subscription?
You have either or. So you can pay the one time to watch a contest, or you can pay like an annual subscription, and then you get access across the board. So the annual subscription is more, but you get that full-time access then.
We're going to put a camera in Dr. Freed's office.
Yes, that might be entertaining. Maybe not as entertaining as a wrestling match.
How is this going to roll out? Say we say yes to this. How is this going to roll out? Do they just come tomorrow and
No,
set
so we'll
up?
work with Brad Manami's office, we'll work with our athletic teams, right, to make sure that when they come into the gyms or fields, they're not interfering with practice. From what I understand, it's not terribly difficult to set up, but we'll just coordinate a time with them. They already know that this is on the agenda, so once, if approved, we'll coordinate some times for them to come out, and they'll just work through our high schools to set these up. I know there was a question about junior highs. Right now, our junior highs only have intramurals, so it's one
Right.
quarter a week. So we didn't opt to put this in the junior high gyms at this time. It's really the high schools where the interest lies.
Is this a wireless setup?
I think there's some. I think it is. I know there's like two nuts and bolts they put into the wall, and then they put the
Besides that,
camera.
it's wireless.
Yeah, I don't think there's any wires that connect to it.
Okay,
Right.
Yep.
good.
All right, sounds
Look forward to it.
exciting.
Thank you. So all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, 5-0. 9.11, Contract Independent Psychoeducational Assessment. Dr. B.J. Freeman.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0. 9.12, Contract Independent Psychoeducational and ERMHS Assessments. I won't read the rest. I don't think it's
So moved.
necessary.
Okay, second.
Any questions? No, seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0. 9.13, Agreement, Industrial Hearing and Pulmonary Management, DBA Western Health.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0. 9.14, Memorandum of Understanding, University of California, Irvine, School of Education.
So
So
moved.
moved. Second.
Motion and a second. Any questions? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0. 9.15, Educational Consulting Agreement, Dr. Jeremy Arnold.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0. Human Resources, before the agenda was adopted, we pulled 9.16, 9.17, 9.18, 9.19. So we are now on 9.20, which is initial contract proposal, AUHSD to CSEA, and that is information only. And 9.21, public hearing, initial contract proposal. We open the public hearing. Anybody wishing to speak? Seeing none, close the public hearing. 9.22, initial contract proposal, CSEA to AUHSD, and that's information only. 9.23, public hearing, initial contract proposal, CSEA to AUHSD. We open the public hearing. Anybody wishing to speak? Seeing none, we close the public hearing. 9.24, initial contract proposal, AUHSD to Mid-Managers Association, MMA, information only. 9.25, public hearing, initial contract proposal, AUHSD to Mid-Managers Association, MMA. Open the public hearing. Anybody wishing to speak? Seeing none, we close the public hearing. 9.26, initial contract proposal, MMA to AUHSD, information item only. 9.27, public hearing, initial contract proposal, MMA to AUHSD. We open the public hearing. Anybody wishing to speak? Seeing none, we close the public hearing. 9.28, public hearing, disclosure of collective bargaining agreement with AFSCME, AFSCME. We open the public hearing. Anybody wishing to speak? Seeing none, we close the public hearing. 9.29, adoption of the 2022-23 collective bargaining agreement with AFSCME.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That's 5-0. 9.30, certificated administrators, classified confidential, and classified management salary schedules.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0. 9.31, compensation for superintendent, assistant superintendents, and district council.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0. Okay. Consent calendar. Any items to poll? I have 10.7 II and 10.8. Any other item being
I'd like to pull
wanting to be polled?
10, I'd like to pull 10.30.
10 what?
10.30.
10.30?
10:16 for me,
Okay.
and 10:19.
Okay. So we have 10.7 II, 10.8, 10.30, 10.16, and 10.19.
Motion for the balance?
Second.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Let's take 10.7 II and 10.8.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? 401. 10.30.
10.16.
10.30 is up. I'm calling.
Okay.
We're skipping?
Second.
Okay.
Motion.
Yeah, motion and a second. Do we need a motion and a second?
I'll move.
Second?
Okay, and Ms.
Questions?
Guerrero, you have any?
No, I just like
Oh,
to
okay,
abstain.
all right. So all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain?
Aye.
Didn't you
401.
pull 10:30?
10:30, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one we're on.
10:30.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah,
we just did.
Didn't you have a question?
No, I was
No,
just abstaining.
401 abstain.
Oh, abstaining. Oh.
Okay.
Got it.
10.16 and
Got it.
9.19 together? or-
So moved.
Okay,
Second.
okay.
Okay, I apologize, I didn't ask in advance, but I was just wondering how the funds are being utilized to make sure that the students are retained. How is this going to work? 10.16, yes.
From my understanding in working with Scott Rendell, it's typically, and Amanda, have you worked with the HCOP as well, Scott? Did you want to come up and talk a little bit about? Yeah.
Thank you, Scott.
We've had
Sorry.
the blessing of working with them for quite some time now.
Good evening. Good evening.
evening.
So yeah, the HCOP program. So these grant funds are to help provide an after-school program for students.
Okay.
So we're going to be providing a program after school for 30 students. Will be officially enrolled that will be tracked through the grant. They welcome additional students as guests. So if additional students want to participate, they can. And what we're doing is really innovative with North Orange County ROP to align with the community schools efforts. So This grant's focused on getting students into public health careers, allied health fields. And so they're going to partner these students with the community health schools task forces, which have students on them to start to learn what the community needs in terms of public health, and then bring the resources that they're learning in their coursework, as well as the after-school program, to bear on those community needs. So
not only teaching them, but showing them to be more of service in the community.
Yeah, and it'll essentially be a work-based learning experience for the students that goes along with their patient care pathways and public and community health care pathways.
So how are they reaching out to the students on this program to select the 30?
To select the students, so they're being selected out of our career pathway programs at Western, Savannah, and Magnolia High Schools.
Okay.
Those are the identified schools under the grant.
Okay.
So they'll be recruited right out of those career pathway programs.
Okay.
So.
Wonderful.
Very good.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're excited. Thank you.
Thank you.
And what about 110.19?
We have to vote.
Okay, you want to vote separately, because we called 16 and 19 at the same time.
Yeah, because they're different.
Okay.
But they're all open at the same time.
All right.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that we had first and second in the 19th. Okay, I just wanted just a really quick, just the description. I felt it was a little bit vague, so I just wasn't sure.
Yeah, so this is coming from Dr. Cruz, and essentially it's empowering students to be trained with the support of an advisor on items related to mental health. So it's peer-led mental health clubs, essentially.
Clubs,
Yeah,
okay.
essentially that's what it is, but it's not, it's going as an item because it's connected to the advisor stipend that they're receiving to support that work.
Okay, fantastic. All right, thank you very much.
Any other questions? Okay, seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0.
Thank you, Brian.
You're welcome. Okay, moving on past that, we are now on item 11, which is superintendent's and staff report.
I have no report.
And staff.
No report, but Happy New Year.
Yes.
Happy New Year.
So Happy New Year.
No report.
A report. Happy
Okay, that covers staff. All right, no reports. All right, got to get it right. All right, 12, Board of Trustees report. Ms. Guerrero.
Yes, okay, I'll try and keep this quick. I just want to give a quick shout out to some of our students that participated in the 2023 Rose Parade Honor Band, including Aiden Vasquez, who is an Anaheim High School trumpet student. I've also had the opportunity to attend the Holidays Around the World at South Junior High School. And I'd like to thank the Family and Community Engagement team for putting that on together for the South Junior High community. And then I also had the opportunity to attend the Anaheim High School Coffee with the Principal, as well as yesterday attended the Anaheim High School Track and Field Improvements Projects. And I want to thank our district staff and partners for being available at that presentation to answer any questions from our parents and team. And I would like to say thank you to everyone for their continuous welcome. I'm making my way to visiting most of our school sites and meeting with our staff, so I'm very excited to continue doing that. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Percy?
Okay, let me see here. Simple things, insurance meetings, I did, meet, and I couldn't believe how the second insurance meeting, just this last week, was so short and quick. I mean, we didn't even make a full hour, and it's usually 2 hours. So Nancy wasn't there, so that's why it was so. Okay. And then, right after the last meeting in December, the next day, I had the opportunity to attend South Junior High's Engage Academy. They did a showcase night. And I wasn't sure what it was, but it was really well done. The parents were, it was really cute because you go in there and these kids, some of them are dressed to the hilt. I mean, they were on display and they were, like kind of, some of them were with the computers or little laptops in front of them, kind of recording everything, but they were set up at different tables and there were like 3 to 5 kids in each group, and each one had an aim or something they were working on. And I went around to the different, they had like sessions, and they would do that, but I went around kind of looking. And then after I did one or two of them, I thought, you know what? I'm just stepping in front of them and listening, but they have no idea who I am. Most of them are parents. So I thought, you know what, let me introduce myself. So I went back and I started, to the ones I had missed, and I let them know who I was. And I gave each one of them one of my cards. And I said, just so that you know who you were talking to. And some of the kids were like, oh, and it was really cute. But I got to about 4 or 5 different presentations. And then afterwards, Diane Betancourt was the one that invited me, and she let me know. She said, the kids, she said, some of them were just, we had a board member watch us, this type of thing. And it was really cute, though, and well done. The parents supported it tremendously. They made it a real night of it. In other words, parents brought all kinds of refreshments and food and whatever, and the kids were all dressed up, and they did their presentations, and then, and then afterwards they had a big kind of like party. But it was really, really well done. And I was really kind of tickled by some of the letters some of the kids wrote, and Diane forwarded them to me. And they had follow-ups, because some of them were going to be doing beach cleanup. And they were passing out information, and we're going to organize this, and you come and join us, and we'll clean up a beach. Or they had, here it is. I didn't think I had it, but this was one of the things Diane sent to me. She said she had the students fill out a debrief form after the showcase to get their feedback about their experience. And she said one student wrote the following when asked what was the best moment of the night, a moment she would always want to remember. And she said, a moment I want to remember is when Anna L. gave us her card. We were all pretty scared of her and felt extremely nervous. Despite this, we felt proud of ourselves. And I thought, that was really cute. And then another student said, I just thought these were really cute. The proudest moment was when Mrs. H presented me to a district board member, explaining my project to Mrs. Piercy. It was the most amazing thing to do. Feeling like someone who genuinely shares the same passion as you is listening to you, and is one of the most amazing things to do. And talking to someone in so much authority, which could potentially, she says, revolt your idea or reveal your idea, makes you feel so much inspiration to do more. And I just thought, that was so cute.
And what grade is that?
Huh?
What grade was that?
7th and 8th grade.
That was 7th grade?
They're 8th graders. Most of them were 8th graders, yeah. So, but it was just so cute, and they had all kinds of handouts showing what their things were, and they had a presentation on the computer. It was extremely well organized and attended, and I just thought they did a great job, and that was their Engage Academy.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it was really good. And then today, okay, I didn't do anything then in that 2 weeks of the holiday and whatever. That was just the day after the last board meeting. This morning, I visited 3 different schools. I went to Lexington this morning. They were having the 6th graders from all of Cyprus. They were attending a 2-hour thing, and they divided them up into 3 groups, and they had something going in the multipurpose room, and then they had something in the gym. In the gym, they had the band and the choir performing. In the multipurpose room, they had the drama and the debate club working and doing a presentation. And then I don't know where the other big one, but I went to the culinary arts classroom, and each of the kitchens was cooking something and putting out food so all the kids and the teachers coming through could, taste some of their stuff. One kitchen was making creme brulee.
Oh, I want that.
I'm like, wow. Well, Kristen told me, the teacher, she said, with the Fit-a-thon monies, this was one thing she wanted to do. So she bought 8 little torches and the 33 creme brulee dishes. So the kids could learn to make creme brulee, and then they had all the little things. So it was just really good. And then there was pizza and cookies and whatever. So they were putting out all their food. And of course, that was one of the most popular rooms.
I can imagine.
I thought of Mr. O'Neill, yeah. With, cookies. So, and then I went to Orangeview because we were, I was aware of one of the problems they have with heating right now, and it's been so miserably cold, and some of these our employees are freezing, and so I went to check on stuff there. And then I went to Cypress High School, but everybody was busy, but I was going to talk to one of them, you know, so. But anyway, I just checked in on 3 different schools, and then I said, okay, it's time for me to go home and read my newspaper. I haven't had a chance to do that yet. That was my day. It was very good. I really enjoyed doing that, you know, just buzzing through these 3 schools. Now I got to try a couple others, so.
Super.
That was it.
Good, thank you. Mrs. Smith?
I didn't make it to the insurance committee meeting, and I'm glad I didn't.
Short and sweet.
I was talking to a friend in Ohio yesterday, and she told me that Anthem has been purchased by CVS. Is that correct?
We'll have to look into that, yeah. We have not, received a notification about that.
Well, that's maybe new news, but it just talks about what the changes in our country and changes we're all seeing, which is huge. There was a lovely article about a Joshua Liu, a 16-year-old Oxford Academy student, organized 2 global recycling campaigns called IMB, standing for 1 million batteries, and WEEE, W-E-E-E, cycle, waste, electrical, and electronic equipment recycling, and engaged more than 1,000 student volunteers. Lou also documented his TAE/1MB journey and 40-plus action tips for youth activism in his 104-page 2-time international award-winning ebook titled Youth Activism. And then it says, Teens Against E-Waste and Our Quest to Collect 1 Million Batteries to Save the Planet. He also delivered a TEDx speech about the dangers of e-waste. I just thought that was so impressive. You can pass it down to the superintendent. And I do have a comment to make. Recently, I've had a number of friends make comments to me about very abrasive comments that news commentators make about teachers generically. I have heard them myself. And I find it absolutely appalling. In particular, when people say to me that they believe it. And my response to the people I speak to is the general public doesn't have a clue what is going on in education and life today with our youth. With so many changes in our country affected by COVID, the fact that our schools were closed down, teachers were having to do lesson plans and teach on e-pads or whatever they are. And then to reopen and reformulate your life on campus, facing commuting and all of the ills that we are faced with on this planet, I just have to say I find it so upsetting when these kind of comments are made by public commentators, and it's not acceptable. And so I'm just saying it for whatever it's worth. I don't email, but I wish somebody would contact these people that are aware of them and tell them that they don't know what they're talking about, because our teachers work very, very hard.
Sensationalism sells, whether truth or not.
Gore.
Yeah.
Gore and murder, you know.
Ms. Randall Trejo.
Thank you for your comments. That's wonderful. Amcar, oh my goodness.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Phenomenal.
Thank you so much for this. And I really loved, in speaking about celebrating teachers, I love that a lot of the ambassadors put the photographs of the teachers getting celebrated for Teachers of the Year. So that's awesome. Students recognize that too. And on that note, I was able to go with our ROP and our President O'Neill to Oxford and surprise June Cuenca for Teacher of the Year. And they really surprised him. And I don't think I've ever seen him speechless. And he was so shocked and so humbled by the experience. And Brad was there as well. And to see that, I don't usually get to do that. And I had a couple minutes. The school was doing fine. The students were great. So I said, I'm going to go over there and help in that celebration. So it was a treat for me to see one of our wonderful teachers getting surprised, and the students were so pleased. And I think they were shocked too, but very well behaved, and we got to take some photographs, but so well deserving of that honor. I was also able to go to the strategic planning for the arts, and it was really interesting to be in a room again with a lot of VAPA folks. And you talk about the pandemic, and I feel like I haven't been able to be in many of those meetings, and it was really nice to be again, in these rooms and being able to have these conversations. So that was the first meeting, and some robust conversation, and looking forward to the next one. I love when my day world and my afternoon evening world collide, and at my school, at Franklin Elementary School, during the day, the PAL students did a can drive. And I didn't know this at the time until our counselor came up to me and said, hey, I just want you to know our students collected a lot of canned goods, and I saw the canned goods. There were a lot. And I just wanted to let you know we actually had Gilbert School come and pick up the cans and for their pantry. And so that just really warmed my heart that our students were able to do that and give that to they have an amazing pantry over there. And I know that it got distributed because I think they were having an event, I think, that weekend. And so they got the cans that Friday. As a matter of fact, the folks that came to pick it up said that they were even distributing them as they were on their way back to the school to some families. So, all right, and South, they're on a roll because they were also doing their sixth grade, I don't know what you call it, welcoming extravaganza. And so I got to go on the bus, and I got to sit in the gym in the middle of all those students. Oh boy, I should have brought my earplugs.
You were coming from your elementary school.
From my elementary school, so
But you
yes.
went with the sixth graders.
Yeah,
That's
went with the
unusual,
sixth
though, isn't it?
graders, yeah. And so they did a fantastic job. The students got off the bus, and the band was there to play for them, and they made this long line of student leaders and cheered them on as they came through. The students really led this event. They had a lot of student leaders take groups, and they led them. First, they went into the gym, and the dance team performed. But they did a really interesting thing, I thought. Instead of having adults talk to the kids, they had students from each one of the elective classes that they get to take. And so from a student's perspective, they talk to the students. And a wonderful celebration. I thought, okay, we're done, that's it. No, after we left the gym, they broke us up in groups, and we actually got to walk into the classrooms as teachers and students were teaching and learning. And I thought, wow, I mean, what a great experience for the kids to actually see what it's really like to go to junior high school. I mean, just right there. So that was a favorite thing for our students in the Franklin Elementary, and South did a fantastic job. They said that we were going to be in by a certain time and out by 11, and we were out by 10:58. I mean, like clockwork. It was amazing. So congratulations to South. I was able to go to visit the MAC again. I invited myself along with Dr. Billings. She said she was going to go visit. And so you always learn so much every time you go. And every time is just an amazing wonder. So I got to see the chickens this time, got to see the chicken coop that they built, and it's really interesting. They built it so it's mobile. So they put the chickens in an area, they eat, they poop, and they scoop. And they use all of that as fertilizer. And so when it gets time for them to move so that they can collect all that, they just move the chickens to another area. And Brian's going to laugh at me because you did at the ROP meeting, but I had no idea.
Sex education.
I'm a city girl that, because the chickens were laying eggs, and we got to take home an egg. And
That's
I
gold.
said, yeah, really, it was really delicious. And I said, but how are they laying, where's the rooster? How are they laying eggs? I had no clue that chickens can lay eggs without the roosters. I understand now.
I talked to
The
her.
rooster's function is to make the chicks. So, but that was something, there was somebody else that didn't know that either, so. So I just thought that was really tickle pink. And oh my goodness, the area that they're going to expand, stop laughing at me. The area's going to expand and then go circle even back around to that far area. And they're thinking about fruit trees, and when it's finished, oh my goodness, it's going to be marvelous. And I think it was that Saturday Academy, they had parents there, and with their students, they were able to do a Saturday Academy, and students and parents got to plant lettuce from scraps. So they learned how to, take that wedge off and plant that. And so just wonderful things going on there. I was able to visit Catella, and it was a testing day, and so kids were kind of coming in, but all admin were outside, and I got to join them in welcoming the students coming in, and they were dressed up, and they were trying to cheer the kids up for getting them piped up, and a lot of them really appreciated that. I was able to meet a couple of students who wanted to interview a board member at Western, and they were really surprised because they thought we were going to do a Zoom call, but I showed up on campus and got to talk with them in a counselor's office. It was for their capstone project. Yeah, and so these students were really trying to investigate, and their issue is liquor stores being too close to school campuses, and they wanted my opinion on that and what can be done on that. So I thought that was a wonderful, wonderful project for them. I was able to go to the first lunar event for our students at the Asian Garden Mall, and boy, they were the grand finale, and we had our students doing a fashion show. And one of the Asian Garden Mall vendors there donates the clothing for the students. And so our students got to go on that big stage that they have there. And this is all on it's the LSTV. It's the Little Saigon, thank you. Little Saigon TV. So they have the big booms, and our kids are broadcast on TV. And then our drummers from the VA student clubs. We have a drum team, and they also have the lion dancers. So the crowd was really, really pleased. And I am looking forward to the Saturday's serve-a-thon events. So thank you.
Yep, thank you. I had the pleasure of attending the Hope Holiday Show, and we saw a preview here at our last board meeting. They put on a fantastic presentation, and there were 2 students we watched. The sound system was not the greatest there. We have to think about that for Hope School in the future. But they had all the words being shown on the screen behind them, but was still, you can't see through the people, so you can't see all the way. But these 2 students, they knew every single word of the entire program. You could see their mouths going, you knew what they were saying. It was amazing. My wife and I anyhow, all of the students were fantastic. It was already mentioned about the ROP Teacher of the Year nominee being surprised, and that was a great surprise. I'm glad I was able to attend that. But it's also, I'm glad that I had the opportunity to be back on the ROP board. And I've been through 2 meetings, and it's very, I'm looking forward to it.
And tell them what we did.
They made me president. So, yeah.
Right off the bat.
Yeah, I was a little shocked there, but okay, go for it. Yeah. Anyhow, moving right along. I had the pleasure of lunch with the Viking at Walker, and Mr. and Mrs. Claus were there. So the kids were going over there and talking to them and having their pictures taken. It was cute. And I have to say, there were so many parents on campus sitting there with their kids. It was amazing. Jennifer Sasai, the principal, who used to be the assistant principal there, said that this is the biggest crowd they've ever had. So it was really a great turnout. I also attended the Green Band from Japan. They haven't been performing at Kennedy for the last couple of years because of COVID, but they were back. They had about 170 participants up on stage, fantastic performance musically, and they were preceded by the taiko drummers from UCLA, and that name is, let me see if I can tell you the name of the band. Very, very interesting. It was the Yukai taiko drummers, and they were, I loved the beats of the drum, and they were really, really great in their presentation. So that ends my busy week or month or whatever it's been since the last meeting. So we move on to item 13, advanced planning.
Okay.
Information.
I have something I want to bring up. I should have brought it up during my report, but in December, after this meeting, I met with Tony Stroud from Loera High School, and I've spoken to Nancy and Leanna about this, but Tony would like to do a presentation about therapy dogs. She would like to see maybe we utilize therapy dogs in some of our work with our children who are having mental anxiety and whatever. So she would like to do a presentation and inform the board of all the information she has in background and all the, coverage, because she's part of an association. So I would like to put this on the agenda for our next meeting. Tony's in the audience tonight.
We have a second.
I will second that.
Okay.
I'll third it.
Okay, very good. So we'll have her give a presentation at our next meeting, okay? And then we can, get the information, because I learned a lot. She treated me to lunch and during the workday. No, there's no bribery.
It's on record.
No. I learned of a new restaurant, though. I didn't know that one there. It's a really nice one. So, but anyway, I do want to put this, and I'm glad I've got the second. So you're on, Tony. You have a presentation for, and I don't know what else needs to be done. Maybe you can contact
we'll reach
Tony.
out.
She's
We'll
at
talk to
Loera
you,
High
Tony.
School.
Yeah.
Okay?
Very good.
That's, okay.
On the topic of gyms and sound systems, maybe we can get an update on where are we? Has anyone looked into getting some equipment for some of those gyms, because it is hard to hear in most of them. You have the students that do so much work, and they get their presentations, and they don't know how to project their voice like the grown-ups do. And so that was one of the things that I really notice, wherever I am. If we could just take a look and maybe see where the need is, but I think every gym maybe needs an upgrade, or, but I think it's really important, because our students really do deserve to be heard, or, if they're singing or they're speaking, and I just really think
Well,
that's something.
just
we
as a
can look at.
reminder, we have over $1 billion of facilities needs district-wide.
I hear you.
Just a little bit.
I hear you. I mean, if we could look for some grant money, anybody listening out there want to donate? I know Oxford Academy wrote, some parents had written a grant at Lowe's, and they got a really nice sound system. But,
It's not just
whatever.
the sound system, there's also baffling, because it just bounces all
Yes,
around.
that's the problem
So
with
it's a combination that we need to be looking at.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
so,
true.
Yeah, that's something.
true.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll have staff look into it.
Okay, anything else? How about number 14?
So moved?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We're adjourned.